Good evening to our global audience and many thanks for tuning in to the Thursday Primetime News Edition. And for the next 20 minutes, we will be unpacking headline-grabbing events unfolding within and beyond Namibian borders. I'm Michael Madimba. Leading tonight's bulletin, Inspector General of the Namibian Police Force, Lieutenant Joseph Shikongo, says community policing has borne significant results in combating crime within the country. The police force attributed the successful strides made in combating the scourge of crime to the various existing community police-based forums throughout the country. The Inspector General touched on a plethora of topics in an exclusive interview with Primetime News earlier today. Let's now listen into a portion of the interview.
We went to Omatako. Omatako, there were only 3 members, the Sun community, there were only 3 members of Men and Women Network. And I appealed to them to come out. The teachers, the nurses that are working, they came out. And I ordered that my officer that they should bring the forms. And everybody wanted to become a police reservist. And the Women Network, that particular day at Omatako in the Chumbwe constituency, so about 25 members joined on that particular day. And then we started again with a project of operation initiatives, and then we gathered an amount of 14,000. Went to Katima, Zambezi, on the 29th of July. Again, we gathered an amount of 11,580. And then I ended up in Chunkwe, where we proposed a similar thing. And again, we left an amount of about 5,000 that they gathered. That, of course, we police officers, because we want to take the lead, we contributed. And then from there, everybody started coming on board. So those are some of them. This people today, the situation in Chunkwe today is different to the situation I had on the 28th of July, because now I have almost close to 30 Men and Women Network. And these are the people that we can send out to give us the information. Some of them are living in the village, because this man, we said, open an account. You should be able, wherever you are in the village, you will be able to call the police and say, I have a revolt, I have a highway, or whatever, what we call this airtime. Yes, they will be able to call from the villages to say the police are in this village, and there is somebody moving with animal. We are suspecting these animals are stolen.
Meanwhile, the Namibian Police Force earlier today held a change in command ceremony in the capital. Commissioner David Ukongo Indongo handed over the reins of the Commerce Regional Command to Commissioner Willem Daniel Steenkamp. Primetime News producer Ndamona Kanganjira covered the proceedings and produced this insert.
We are gathered here this morning to witness the handing over and taking over ceremony of Commerce Region from me, Commissioner David Ukongo Indongo, the outgoing Regional Commander of Commerce Region. I would like to register my appreciations to the Inspector General of the Namibian Police Force for the trust and the confidence bestowed on me for appointing me as the Regional Commander of Commerce Region on 1st September 2022. After I served as a Regional Commander of Claras Region from 2019 to 2022. I served the members of the Namibian Police Force under my command in the community of Commerce Region with diligence, honest, professionalism, and loyalty without any discrimination for the past 10 months on the helm of Commerce Region. Thus, I would like to thank the entire police management, the ranks and files, as well as all critical stakeholders for work closely with my office and for maintained a good working relationship. I further would like to extend my gratitude and appreciation to the regional leadership, political leadership, the business community, the traditional and church leaders, the media fraternity, as well as all people residing in the region, for their support accorded to me during my tenure as a Regional Commander of Commerce Region.
Moving on, President of the Republican Party, Henk March, in a press briefing earlier today, shared his position on the Supreme Court ruling on same-sex marriage. He asserted as a party they will not support same-sex marriage.
Come to the next issue of same-sex marriages. When God created us, He created us men and women. And the clear instruction was for us to multiply and create a family, obviously meaning to have children. Naturally, it is impossible for two men to conceive or birth a child with one another and vice versa, two women to conceive or birth a child with one another. This is obviously an undisputable fact. A serious issue of concern is the adoption of children by same-sex partners. As a father who has raised 4 children with my wife, I'm absolutely convinced that an adopted child who grow up in a home where he or she has 2 fathers or 2 mothers will become problematic as a child grows older, simply because no one can guarantee that such an adopted child will have the same sexual orientation as their fathers, in brackets, and mothers, as they grow up. This in itself places a target on the back of such adopted children and opens the door for rejection, discrimination, and bullying by fellow children.
At the same media briefing by the Republican Party President, Hank March, the party articulated its position on the issue of abortion. Once more, let's listen in.
Lastly, and whilst we are on the topic, let me also comment on the extremely important issue of abortion. I want to make it very clear that the Republican Party will fight against any attempt to legalize abortion by demand. We will only support abortion when a mother's life is in danger. Abortion under any other circumstances is nothing but murder. A fetus is alive when conception has taken place, and when it's removed by whatever means, then those involved must accept that they are guilty of committing murder. Remove this issue by the root, not only treating the symptoms, and therefore by means of enforcing and passing laws legalizing abortion, because should we allow this, then citizens are only allowed to continue with a promiscuous and criminal lifestyle.
Stay tuned for the business segment. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment where business and economics make headlines. Namibia Food and Allied Workers Union Southern Regional Coordinator Moses Ruben stated that Hangana Abalone employees at Ludwitz will remain on strike until their demands are met by the company. Now, about 16 employees have been on strike since last Wednesday, demanding a $750 Namibian salary adjustment for the 2022-23 financial year per employee, as well as a 9-month back pay. Suzette Chitaura fathers insert.
Come on, Hangana! Hangana! Give us the money! Hangana! We want the money! Hangana! We want the money! Hangana! Give us the money! Hangana!
About 16 employees have been on strike since last Wednesday, demanding a $750 Namibian salary adjustment for the 2022-2023 financial year per employee and 9-month back pay. The employees are also demanding 600 Namibian dollars salary adjustment per person per month for the 2023-2024 financial year and a further 500 Namibian dollars salary adjustment for the 2022-2025 financial year. According to Ruben, Hangana and Nafao started salary negotiations last year, and in June this year they reached a deadlock which led to the strike. Ruben on Wednesday alleged that the company is violating the rules of the strike by employing other people to do the work of those on strike. Approached for comment, Hangana Managing Director Herman Ferron denied that the company is violating the strike rules. He said the 6 employees have been working at the factory where abalone is processed since August last year and not at the site where the striking employees usually work. Reporting for Primetime News, Ishmael Mukvonda.
Now, Windhoek residents who have to brace themselves as the city of Windhoek has announced an 8.6% increase in electricity tariffs effective from the 1st of August this year. The municipality in a public notice on Wednesday informed electricity users in Windhoek of the electricity hike following approval from the Electricity Control Board. Shelva Wills compiled this insert.
The City of Windhoek spokesperson Lydia Amutenya told Nampa recently that the local authority initially requested a 9.6% tariff adjustment from the Electricity Control Board, but approval was granted for 8.6% only. She further stated that the reason for the tariff adjustment is that the City of Windhoek's bulk electricity service provider raised their tariffs, so the City of Windhoek had to adjust its electricity tariffs to be cost reflective. She explained aside from being a legislative necessity, the distribution of energy to their clients also necessitates proper electricity infrastructure that must be maintained on a regular basis to ensure reliability and a secure supply. Reporting for Primetime News, Ishmael Mukvonda.
That concludes our top news segment for tonight. As now we look at how the weather will shape up tomorrow and the weather forecast, followed by the Econ Roundup. Welcome to Sport Planet, your go-to segment for all things sport in action. Cycling kickstarts the segment. Namibian international cycling duo Vera Lusa and Alex Miller have expressed their satisfaction with the results of their maiden edition of the International Cycling Union World Championships in Glasgow, Scotland. Lusa, who has won several accolades for Namibia, had an impressive ride in the women's mountain bike marathon cross country, where she finished in 7th place. Meanwhile, Miller, who won bronze on the 2022 Commonwealth Games cross-country event, finished in 30th place over 108 kilometers in muddy, rainy conditions. Now, the first edition of the PST Bet Oshana Region Governors Cup was officially launched by Governor Elia Irimari at Oshakati on Tuesday. The tournament is scheduled to take place from the 12th to the 14th of August at the Oshakati Independent Stadium, with 11 constituencies expected to compete for top position. The Oshana PST Bet Cup will feature 7 sport codes with football, netball, volleyball, boxing, village marathon, owela, as well as tug of war on the cards. Speaking at the launch, Irimari said the event aims to provide a platform for athletes from all corners of the region to gather and compete in a series of thrilling matches. Irimari said they are grateful to PST Bet for their support and commitment to promoting sports and youth development. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. This is where we dock for the night. Many thanks for always tuning in. Do catch me tomorrow as we bring you the week's last edition of Primetime News. From myself, Michael Nadimba, and the entire team behind the scenes, it's good night.